got home a couple hours ago. I kind of messed up on the video editing part. I put it under public when I really meant to put it on unlisted so I can edit the videos together. But I had a dream when I woke up this morning, which right now it's about 9:40 p.m. When I woke up this morning, I think 5 or 6 a.m. Before waking up, actually, I think the dream that I had woke me up. The dream itself had me thinking all day. It's a dream that happened. It's a dream that I've been having on and off. Even before I had anxiety. And for this time, it really got to me. I don't really want to say what's the dream about, who is it about, but the location of the dream itself is what made me know it was a dream and not something that will. But it had me really thinking both about the dream and the location. It happened in the house that I used to live in back in the 90s, like mid-90s, when I was in my teenage year, which I'm 37 right now. I didn't have anxiety when I was younger. I just had it last year when I just turned 36. The dream happened in a house back in San Francisco. I don't live in the city anymore. I'm about an hour away from my old house and from the house I used to live in. I would just say, first off, before I tell the story about why that dream or why that house kind of like means something to me and why I dream about it sometimes, I don't really believe in ghosts to what happened to my brothers and I. So the story goes like this. I used to, the house we didn't own the house, we went the house, so the landlord had to add he decided to build another bedroom downstairs. It has 2 floors. Upstairs had 2 bedrooms and 1.5 baths. So my parents and my sister stayed upstairs. My 2 older brothers and I was downstairs. I'm the youngest. We only have 1 bedroom, 1 bath. So for a little while, my 2 older brothers, and I had to sleep in 1 room. While they built another room, but while they had to build another room, they also had to knock down the bathroom downstairs, because where our bedroom was going to be is where the bathroom was, half of the bathroom. So they added the bathroom, built the bathroom first, so we didn't have to go upstairs and use the bathroom. So after that, they built the bedroom. While they were building stuff, we were still moving in and like kind of decluttering the downstairs. Downstairs only had the 2 bedroom and the bath, and like a narrow empty space was probably like 1,000 square feet of empty space. So besides the empty space, all we had was like an extra TV and a fish tank and our bird cage when we had a parrot cage back then. That was it. Because the kitchen was upstairs, the dining room was upstairs, and the living room. But one day when we were moving stuff, and then we moved everything into this little storage area in the garage, where the laundry is. I believe that's where the laundry area was. The storage area was under the staircase. The staircase was from the outside of the house going upstairs. Out of nowhere, a black cat just came out and tried to squash our faces. Keep in mind, we didn't have any pet cats at the. We don't even have cats. We never had pet cats. We thought was maybe the previous owner had it, the landlord's cat or something. But he's told us the person that lived in there before us didn't have any pet cats. He doesn't have any pet cats, so we don't know where that cat came from. When we inspected the house, there's no way the cat could have got in. There's like no little holes anywhere. So we looked around inside the house and around the outside. There was nowhere the cat could have got in that we know of. So, but that we were already living there for a couple of weeks, and that was the first time we saw the cat. So the landlord called the animal control. The animal control came and grabbed the cat. They had a hard time. The cat was trying to attack the animal control. So when they finally got it, we asked them what was going to happen. They said the way the cat was acting, it wouldn't be safe if someone adopted the cat. So they had to put the cat down. And then a couple of days later, when our bedroom was done, my third oldest brother and I moved into our own room. That same day, or maybe a few days later, my dad bought us a manager's chair. So someone gave him from I don't know, maybe from the neighborhood. It's like one of those expensive leather chairs that cost a couple $100. And then my dad just gave it to my brother and I because we were going to go buy a chair. But he said, "Hey, just take this one," and it was nice and comfortable, and and we didn't care about getting used stuff, so we're like, okay, we didn't have to go buy a chair. So when we got the chair, that same night, my brother woke me up in the middle of the night, and then he said, "Were you sitting on the chair?" I said, "What do you mean? I've been asleep all this time." He told me the chair spun around 3 times in a full 360, and I was like, "No." I said, "Maybe you just got off the chair." And then, you know, when you get off the chair and it kind of like turns a little bit, and he said, "No, I've been asleep all this time too, so I don't know, maybe," because, you know, sometimes like he could I don't know if I said, like, reach his hand and like spin it real quick and then woke me up. I don't know, but he didn't seem like he was joking with me, but even though I thought he was, but he kind of sounded like he was scared, serious about something. But and then I was like, nothing. I didn't see anything, and then I just fell back asleep. So the next day, he kept looking at the chair, and then the corner of his eye, he said he just saw someone walk by, say maybe it's my other brother, but he looked, he was in home. So we're like, I said, I don't know, maybe your mind is just messing with you, just like how the chair was. Then I just ignored it. That same day, when I got home from school, my friend came over. We had to do a middle school like one of those projects, like when you were back in middle school. I used to have to do those, you know, where you stand up and you and like maybe 2 or 3 other students, you had to do like a group project. Me and my friend did part of the project, and then our 2 other classmates had to do the other two half of the project. Anyway, my friend came over, plus it was raining and windy, and since I live closer to the school, he just wanted to come over, and he said he will call his parents to come pick him up later on. So he just stayed. But this is where everything went wrong. I had a poster on the wall, and I used thumbtacks to hang the pictures up. Like each corner had a thumbtack. Right? It was windy, so I closed the window. I left maybe like half an inch open, because even when it's windy, I like the fresh air, but I just didn't want the rain to get in. So the poster fell straight down. When I looked I thought it would have been, when it fell, it just felt like it went straight down. When I looked, it wasn't behind the table. It felt like about maybe 5 or 6 feet away from where I thought it fell, right almost out to my bedroom door. So I was like, okay, I know it was windy, but it couldn't flew all the way there because when I saw it landed, it just landed right there, right where my eyes are. So I told my friend, don't worry, I'll pick it up later. But when I was about to go pick it up, like 5-10 minutes later, it wasn't where I first saw it. It was like a couple of feet away from where I saw it. And then I was like, I thought my mind was messing with me. And then my friend's like, did you pick it up already? I said, no. I said, why? He said, how come it's not there? I was like, what do you mean? And then we looked, and there was where we didn't think it would have been. And then we just looked at each other like, okay. Then we started getting like goosebumps. We're like, and then I'm like, oh, what was that about? Because we just felt like cold air just like walk by. You know, if someone walks by you or runs by you, you feel that little air. It couldn't be the wind because our backs wasn't facing the window. So I told him, I don't know what happened, but I said, did you just like blew in my back? And he's like, no, I thought you did, but how could we? We were like side by side next to each other. And then he's like, is your brother something? I was like, no, because I already heard the garage door open because the car was in there, her engine. So that's why. I also have like really bad allergies right now. I've been coughing and sneezing, and my nose is stuffy, and you can probably tell from my nose is like kind of weird. My throat's like completely dry. So a few minutes later, we finished our school project, and then he said, let's turn on the TV. I was like, okay. So we just watched the news. You know, when you watch the news, you don't see the news, the people, I don't even know what you call it, the reporters, when they're sitting at the desk. You don't see the full body, you only see like the upper body. So I don't know where it started raining really hard. It got really windy, and then it started lighting and thunder, and then the TV just got really fuzzy. It's one of those, you know, those old TVs from like the 80s, 90s, like the with the wooden trim. That's what we had with the bunny ears. Like I mentioned, this was back in the 90s when I was a teenager. So when I kept flipping the channel, I couldn't flip the channel on the dial, and then I was like flipping, maybe I picked something up, and then every channel was the same, off, fuzzy and staticky. We couldn't make out what we were watching, but we can see the channel, and it was like a local channel, like a channel 2 or channel 5, something like that. And then I was like, well, okay, we can't watch. Before I turn, I was like, oh, let's just turn off the TV, because what's the point of trying to watch the TV when all you hear is like staticky, and you see like lines all over. And then out of nowhere, I heard 3 times they said, get out of my house. Second time, you better get out of my house. The third time, I'm telling you, this is the final warning. You better get out the house. And I was like, I looked at him, I was like, did you say something? He's like, no. Well, was that you? I was like, no. And we were like, then I kept looking back. Maybe my brother got home, and my other brother that didn't have a car. I thought it was him, but sneaked in trying to scam me, but it wasn't him either. So that kind of like, I wouldn't say I was completely scared at the time. And then out of nowhere, my friend started tapping me. He was looking behind me, went into the room. We call that area that's narrow, and there's nothing there besides the TV, the fish tank, and the bird cage. We call it the long room because it's long and narrow. I don't even think we had furniture there or anything. We just had like maybe a couple of chairs. But when my brother and I watched TV, instead of being in my room or my brother's room, we stay in that empty room because there's more space. So when we just stay there to watch TV. So he told me he saw like two shadows. I looked, and then I saw the shadow, and then I just started getting like goosebumps all over, right? Then I was like, I don't really have like hair on my anywhere else besides across right here, but I don't have hair on my arms or anything like that. Plus I was like a teenager back then, and I can feel like the small hair on my arms like standing up, even the back of my head. I was like, I don't know where it just got really hot, even though when it was cold. And then I told him I saw it too, and then we heard. Then I saw like a shadow of a cat, and then we do have a bunch of parakeets, but some of them passed away, and then I started seeing like shadows of like birds flying, and I was like, what's going on here? And then my eye just focused on the chair. I was like, did the chair just move? And then it did, just like my brother said it was before. So I just told my friend, say I don't know what's going on, and then we heard, told you to get out now, and then he just went straight out the house. He left his backpack, he left whatever he had there, and he didn't care, was still waiting. And then when he left, and the lights in my room, you know, some of the newer house now, back then where I used to live in San Francisco, you had those old style lights. I forgot what you call it, but they're like kind of circle, and when I turn it on, the lights just pop, and the one in my bedroom pop, and then so I turn on the lights in the other rooms, each one of them pop. So I turn on the light going up the stairs. I was about to go upstairs just to like get my mind set and clear, and when I tried to open the door, I couldn't open it. So it felt like someone was on the other side, like pushing it back. And then when I saw like a half-inch gap, I looked, there was no one even pushing the door. But it also felt like, you know, when I'm trying to open it this way, it felt like someone had their hands on my hand pushing me back. So that's how it felt. So when that happened, I was shocked. I was still shocked. I was like more shocked than I was scared, because you know, sometimes when you're shocked, you're surprised, you don't really think about what's happening until later on. You're like, oh my god, this actually happened. So when that happened, I was like, okay, this is creepy. So my brain's like slowly processing what happened. And then I got really sweaty, got scared. Like I mentioned, I didn't have panic attacks back then, anything like that. Then I started getting scared, and then I couldn't even go in the room. So I went back downstairs, and then popped the lights going downstairs just popped on me, right? And then the light just flicker. It was still on, but it was just flickering, and it was annoying me. You know, when the lights flicker, it kind of annoys your eyes. So I just turned it off. And then when I tried turning it back on, I heard that voice. So I told you to leave now. But this time, the voice was more calm. It's like, you should just leave before anything happens. I was like, okay, this voice, I don't know, this voice doesn't sound like, it was still scaring me, but it didn't sound like it was like an evil spirit, ghost, or whatever. Like I said, I didn't believe in ghosts or spirits or anything like that. I mean, I was young, I wasn't thinking about stuff like that anyway. So when I went downstairs, I called upstairs, because back then we had like 56K modems, you know, like those old, when you had internet, you didn't have like, you had dial-up. So we had a separate phone for the internet. So I called upstairs, and then my mom answered. So why are you calling me? And I said, I can't get upstairs. I said, what do you mean? I said, the door's, it's like the doorknob is stuck or something. keep in mind we don't have there's no lock on the doorknob. So she went and opened it, and then she said, okay, there's no one there. And then I was like, oh, that's strange. She said, maybe your dad was doing something. And I asked my dad. He said he wasn't doing anything. So I was like, okay, whatever. And then my brother got home. He looked at me. He's like, what's wrong? Why are your face away? I said, come on, let's go downstairs. And I asked my dad, I was like, oh, by the way, do you have any light bulbs? And he said, yeah. He didn't ask me why. And then my brother was like, didn't the landlord just put this in? I was like, I told you, I'll talk to you downstairs. I say, oh, these lights pop. And then he looks like, what happened? I told him, he's like, I told you something strange happened. So I said, you think we should tell my other brother because he's downstairs too? He said, we'll just wait for a couple of days, see if anything else happened. So a couple of days later, my oldest brother, who doesn't live with us, but he came from the East Coast to visit. So he stayed with us for a couple of days before he went back to the East Coast. He stayed in the same room my second oldest brother went, sleeps in. So that night, it was a Monday night, because I remember we were watching wrestling. You know, back then I was into watching wrestling. It was like WWF Monday Night Raw, whatever it was called. So all of us was in that long room watching. My second oldest brother went to the bathroom. When he came out, fell face first. He hit his forehead. We asked him what happened. He didn't take a shower. And then his foot wasn't wet, and then he just went to wash his hands because we were eating. And he said it felt like someone was pushing him from the back, and someone grabbed his leg. Pretend this is your leg and your foot is right here. He said it felt like someone was doing this and someone was doing that to make sure he fall face forward. He said he felt some pressure right there, and we're like, are you dizzy? And then he said no. After that he just got up and he just kept looking behind him, and then like the corner of my eyes I saw a shadow, and then I went like this to my other brother, not to my oldest. We didn't tell him. And then he said, what are you guys doing? And then my oldest brother, it's like, why are you guys doing that? And well, my two older brothers was asking me and my third brother, why are you guys doing that? And then we told them. He said, how come you guys didn't say anything? We're like, we wasn't really thinking. We were like, maybe it was just in our mind. But what we saw, what happened to my brother, what happened to us and my friend, that couldn't be in our mind, you know, unless our mind was like, something was really up with our mind. But how can all that happen? You know, you can't just fall face forward and say, oh, it feels like someone pushed you. And then he had no concussion, nothing. He just had a little bruise on his head. He was fine. So the next day, my brothers go to school and they go to work after. I think they were I don't know, were they seniors or they were like into college? I wasn't too sure, but I know they were older. My sister's older than I am too, so. And then what happened after? Oh yeah, every time I was downstairs by myself, I mean I should have just stayed upstairs until my brothers got home, but you know, my bedroom's downstairs, so anytime I do my homework or whatever, I would be downstairs. So I asked my friend, you want to come over? He was like, not unless your brothers are home downstairs. So I'm like, no, we can stay upstairs. He said, okay. So he goes up, and then I said, great, I had to go downstairs to use the computer. He's like, is your brother home? I said, not yet. So, because we only had, I think we had two computers, and one was in my room and one was in my other brother's room. So it's like, now like, you know what, we'll just wait till they get home. So my mom and dad was probably like why is this guy acting like that? But they didn't say anything, because I like being downstairs, even if I was in the dark, you know. Even back then I was always in the dark. I don't know why, but and then when I went downstairs, I was tired. It's like my brother wasn't home. They won't be home to another hour or two, and then it was over late, so my friend went home. And and then what happened? Oh yeah, before I went to sleep, I went in the closet to get something. Keep in mind, my closet is not like one of these where, you know, you can't just walk in. There's the other one's like kind of like a walk-in closet, but you kind of have to, like, after taking like maybe 3 or 4 steps, you have to like kind of duck, because it's actually the staircase that's going upstairs from inside the house. So when I went in, I turned on the lights to get some stuff to change my clothes, and grab my clothes for the next day I was gonna wear for school. The door just slowly closed. I didn't see who it was or anything, but it just closed, because I had my face, I was facing towards like the back of the closet, and there was a bunch of stuff like in the way, so I was like, let me just clean up a little bit so it's not too cluttered in the closet. So when I cleaned it, I was about to grab the last box, the closet door just closed. Couldn't be my brother, because he knows, just keep in mind, there's you can close to it as doorknobs, but you cannot lock the closet. So my brother, if my brother was home, he would know, because we always tell each other, if the door's open, that means one of us is in there. So plus the light was on, so he would know. When I tried to get out, it felt like someone was like pushing the door back. I know it wasn't my brothers, because of what happened, they know. And I heard the garage open, so both of my brothers came home, and then the brother that sleeps in the same room I do, my third oldest brother, opened the closet. He saw me like just sitting down, like, you know, Indian style, like I was breathing heavily because I was stuck in there with no air. Well, I wasn't in there for that long, but maybe like 3 or 4 minutes or something. But I was looking at time, how long I was in there. So, and then he's like, what happened? I told him what happened. He's like, you know, we're gonna have to tell our parents soon. And then we're like, okay. And then we just kept saying that we're gonna talk to them, but a couple of weeks, months later, we're like, we never did, and we don't even know why. It's like our minds, like, we keep saying, well, tomorrow, but tomorrow ended up like a couple of months later. And then every time I was downstairs by myself, when I turned the light would just go off. The light bulbs don't pop, but the electricity didn't want to work. So I told my dad, and he went down, he turned it on, and then it just went on. I was like, what's going on? And then I realized it was always because when I'm downstairs by myself, it happened to me, because I was the first one that said, I don't believe in ghosts, I don't care who's down here that I cannot see. So I think that's why it happened to me and not as much on my brother. Well, when my brothers are home, I'm usually home, so all of us are actually downstairs. But and what the next thing that happened was probably the worst thing, besides when my brother fell and hit his head. One day I just woke up, I had like a really bad fever, and I looked at my brother. I was like, what's wrong? He said he was sick, and then we were like, looked at each other and we're like, oh shit. And then we went to my other brother's room. We saw him like getting up, like he was throwing up and stuff. All 3 of us were sick at the same time, and we usually don't get sick at the same time. It's like, you know, one will get sick and then the other one will get the other one sick, stuff like that. So if one of us was sick, we would just stay in that one room, and the other brother would just go into the other room so we don't get each other sick. So and then when my mom asked us what happened, why you guys look so, why are you guys like, are you guys okay? We're like, no, we're sick. It's like, all three of you? We're like, yeah. We didn't eat anything that we could have known that we got us sick, because each one of us ate something different. Right? It was something that I don't even remember what we ate, but we had like a flu. We were throwing up a lot. I think that's why I started to have fear of throwing up, because of what happened in the house. And even saying that, it's like my mind's already like starting to overthink right now, just by saying throwing up. And but I'm just gonna say it anyways. So we got sick and then we got better. Back then we had like a doctor that comes to the house, which was good. And then he saw us. He's like, "Man, you guys look like you have a fever and a stomach flu at the same time. That's why we were so sick." And it's like, "What did you guys eat?" And I don't remember what we ate, because that was like over 15 years ago. And then we told him that we just got sick today, and then it's like gave us like, it was like rubbing our stomach, like, you know, testing us out and stuff. And then I think one of my brother just puked all over the table, and then I saw it, and then I did the same thing, because you know, sometimes when people talk about it, how they vomit in front of you, and then you get that urge to do it too. So that's what happened to me, and I was sick as well. So we were all sick for about 3-4 days, and we got better. A couple of weeks later, we got sick again. Same thing. We didn't understand why, and then we realized maybe something really happened to us, right? And that we couldn't explain. And then every month we would got like sick. It's not always the fever. It can be like a flu or a cold. But my sister and my parents, they didn't get sick like us. You know, they'll get like I didn't have allergies when I lived in San Francisco until I moved to the South Bay. That's when I started getting allergies. So anyways, when we were about to go upstairs and tell our parents, my parents told us have a seat, and we're like, okay, we thought we were in trouble. They saw something too, but they said we're moving, and we was like, okay, we just went straight downstairs and like finally let's get out here, right? And then it's like, aren't you gonna ask why? We're like, oh yeah, why? And then it's like, we saved enough money to buy a house ourselves, so we're like, okay, because we rented the house. So they told us the landlord wanted to let his family rent the house or sell the house or something. We're like, a lot of space for all of us, but plus it was only like maybe 5 blocks away from my middle school, and 5 blocks away from my sister's high school. My sister and my brother's high school. I think my brothers were seniors, so they were going to college already, but I was like, okay. And then I was heading, I think that was like I was in the 8th grade, so I was going to high school anyway, so I went to a different high school. So my mom said, the landlord said we can live there, but we will all have to like be upstairs, and he will build like a bedroom in the living room. Which who builds a bedroom in the living room? We're like, okay, that really makes sense, because then all of us would be sharing 1.5 bath. But my mom's like, no, my parents told us that they found a house. They found one like they kind of knew a couple of weeks ago, so they've been looking at the house, and they show us the house that we were going to live in, which was probably like 10-15 minutes away. So it wasn't close to any schools, but it was. So I went to a different high school. This house, no, I had no problems in that house. But the strange thing about that house is I started having like nightmares about the house I used to live in, where I would get sick, and every time I dream about the house I would get sick too. And then I remember um, one day in the house when we first moved in, I dreamed that I was trapped in the other house and no one knew I was there. You know, no one asked for me. It was like I was never born, and that's what kind of gets to me. So anytime I dream about that so-called haunted house, I feel I feel like I'm about to get sick, or I was sick. But I will always like I will always have a clear memory of what happened at the house, and it's kind of strange. My friend that went to visit the house is that came with me to my house. He still lives in San Francisco, but I haven't talked to him for I would say about 13, 14 years. So I mean, I still have friends that live there, but I don't remember their name. I mean, their phone numbers. I still have family like live there, but I was thinking of like asking my friend, hey, can you go by the house and like, you know, just take a picture or see if anyone lives there and anything, because I kind of want to visit the house if I could leave if I can actually like get in the car and drive off. But you know, having this anxiety and not being able to like go too far, I don't think I would have been able to really handle that just yet, even though one day I plan on to. But I kind of wish I did go back to the house before, when I didn't have this, just to get that house, just to get the memory off my mind. But like I said, I had good memories at the house, like, you know, the friends I met when I lived there, so I had good memories about that place. But of course this also, that was bad memories. But every time I dream about the house, it just, I don't know, it just gets to me. But this dream wasn't about ghosts. It was about 3 people, not my friends, but 3 people that I want to keep personal. I mean, I want to keep private. What happened and why did it happen in the house? Because only one person in that dream was in the house, and the other 2 I didn't know. One wasn't born, and the other one I didn't know till I moved into this house. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm having 2 dreams that I had before into one dream, and it just like at the same time, it just really got to me. Couldn't focus when I was riding my bike around. When I got off my bike, I was like, what is wrong with me? Why am I thinking about this too much? Why can't I snap out of it, you know? But while I was thinking about it, I had no anxiety. I mean, I didn't feel the symptom of anxiety, but I was just thinking about the house. I was just like having flashbacks of the house and of that dream. So it's like having 2 separate dreams that always gets to me into one dream, and it just been bothering me all day and couldn't think clearly. When I was riding my bike, I kept thinking I was daydreaming. Like I had to like kind of shake my head just to like, you know, wake myself up or whatever. And then I knew I was awake from that dream because it happened in the house that I don't live anymore. And also when also when I was riding my bike, when like I mentioned, when I was thinking about it too much, I was like, I almost forgot what I was doing. When I was riding, I knew what I was doing, but I had no idea where I was like planning on going. I knew where I was going, but I was like, when I got there, I was like, when did I got here? You know, it's like I was so focused on my dream that I had no idea where I was at the time. So not only that, but when I woke up from that dream, I had this really bad head pressure. It felt like I forgot. I think it was like the left side of my brain. I feel like someone was like applying pressure. I feel like someone was like squeezing it, and then like, you know, when you squeeze like let's say strawberries, blueberries, whatever, and then the juice just comes off. Well, I feel like someone's doing that to my brain, and it feels like blood was pumping out my brain, and I can just feel this inner shaking from just that side of the brain. And then I'm surprised it didn't make me panicky, but that symptom, that sensation didn't make me panicky, but the dream itself was on my mind. And then I just got up and like tried to shake it off, but I couldn't shake it off. I wanted to go for a walk early in the morning around 6-7 a.m. but I didn't feel safe knowing that I couldn't focus on anything but the dream, because I didn't want to be like, you know, walking and just like listening to my thoughts and then just walk into something or someone into a car or whatever. So I was like, I'll just wait till later. So when I was riding my bike, I was like, you know, I was just riding for the first like block. I was just fine. After that, that's when I start like all the thoughts of the dream starts getting to me. I was like trying to shake it off. I was like riding my bike like faster, trying to pedal, like I was trying to sway left and right just to like snap my mind and my body off it, but I couldn't do that either. So just that dream, what happened in that dream, and dreaming about the house itself. It's not just about the house that really got to me, but the people that was in the dream and what happened to me and them is what really got to me, and it felt so real. And it just, I don't know, it just made me think all day. I mean, I wanted to go up to those 3 person and tell them what I was dreaming about, but they'll probably look at me and say, what are you talking about? Because it was in my dream. But you know, I just wanted to go up to those 3 person and tell them about my dream. But it would have been kind of strange, just based off the dream itself. But I don't know. I just don't know why I can't get it off my mind, and that's why I want to talk about it. But like I said, don't want to get too much into the details about what happened to me and those 3 person. But I don't mind talking about the house itself. But like I said, when I was dreaming about the house, nothing. I wasn't dreaming about the haunted part of the house. I was just dreaming about me and those 3 person inside the house. You know, the haunted part, nothing, which was kind of strange. Because usually when I dream about the house, I'll be sick. I'll be getting sick. I'll be getting over a flu or something, or I'll be dreaming about ghosts and having nightmares and stuff like that. But that's why that dream didn't make sense to me, you know. So like, as you can tell, like right now I'm so focused on it. And another thing, I don't know if any of you guys have this problem. Sometimes, you know, when you have that same dream that, like I mentioned, like you can have a dream that you never want it to come true, but sometimes you keep dreaming about it over and over. And sometimes when you wake up and then you go back to that dream again, it's like you know, when you're watching like a TV show where it's like part 1 and part 2. That's why I feel like it's like, okay, I feel like part of that dream is missing, and I feel like when I go to sleep tonight, the other half of that dream, I might dream about that, because sometimes I do that. When I dream about something, it's like the same dream over and over. Sometimes I'll dream about that dream. It could be like a dream that lasts for an hour, but I'll wake up in a half an hour, because like my mind is like telling me snap out of it. Then I'll just like wake up, and then once I go back to sleep, I'll dream about that dream again, but it will be like the so-called part 2 of that dream. So I think that might happen tonight, because especially when you're thinking about something too much, you know, you might, for me, I can't speak for everyone else, but when I think about something too much, I end up dreaming about it. It's like You know, I've been talking about wanting to go back to work. I've been talking about how I miss my where I used to work, like the co-workers and stuff, and sometimes I'll randomly dream about that because it's like I'll be thinking about it in my mind, and my mind just like, okay, it's time for you to dream about it. So yeah, um, I just want to talk about it just to get it off my mind, even though I want to keep the other part of the dream private. But and then also before you watch the rest of the video, which was me riding the bike to the park, I disabled the audio because my bike is making some loud squeaky sounds, and it will probably give some of you guys a headache because it sounds really bad. It sounds like, you know, when you put your fingers on like a the wall or something, you're like going and it's just annoying. It's like a really loud squeaking sound. So I'm gonna disable that, the audio. Besides, I wasn't talking when I was riding my bike anyway. I'm still trying to figure out how to do a voiceover. I mean, I'm not too sure if you can edit the voiceover onto YouTube because I use YouTube Creator to edit the videos. I don't have an editing software. Maybe one day I will get one, so I can, like, while I'm riding my bike, I can disable the background noise and just talk over the bike ride itself. So yeah, for now, just about to go to sleep once I get this video up, and hopefully I don't dream about any nonsense stuff and have that thing stuck in my mind, because I'm kind of annoyed by having those dreams even over and over sometimes, and sometimes I don't want to talk about it because, you know, it doesn't make sense, but part of the dream feels so real that it messes with my mind and the way I think. Other than that, today I didn't really have that much anxiety. Just talking about this, I feel like my mind is like, like I don't have anxiety because like my mind is not focused on the anxiety, but it's focusing on the dream in the house.